You all good? Oh! TV show. All right, y'all. Well, welcome, Durango basketball family community. It's good to see you. Hopefully you can hear me. I'll try to talk loud enough because I know I got a mask on and I want to follow the protocol.
We have no protocol.
Okay. Stop making me laugh. We're good. So, thank you for coming. Senior parents, thank you for coming. I wanted to make sure that you guys actually got the opportunity. Maybe if I had like 9 seniors, I had to think about it, but I only got 3. So, no, I'm just kidding. We would have had you guys anyway. So, this is about it. I wanted to make sure, and I really kind of didn't have a choice on trying to make something happen for y'all. I really wanted to. I just didn't know how we were going to make it happen. But I knew we'd have to use kind of a video due to what our situation has been all season. So we're just going to move through it fast. It's not going to be kind of as formal in the past as we've been in that whole process. We'll have some coaches come up and talk and say their experiences for the year. I'm going to go ahead and do a spiel just for the introduction as I'm doing right now. But we'll just kind of go, but we don't have all of our players here in our whole program. So we will get those certificates to your boys, especially if they're at the high school. And then, and if they're not at the high school, we will get it to them. I guarantee we'll get it to them ASAP for those certificates and awards and stuff like that. So if they were to make it. All right. So with that said, I would like to just say thank you, especially to all the boys to start with. All the boys, I know, I can't even imagine what you guys experienced or what you've been experiencing in the last year and a half-ish as far as this pandemic going on of COVID-19. And I just know when something got taken away from me, it was like the end of the world. But you guys have be able to come back and make it happen. And I know you still go through those struggles, those everyday teenager struggles. But I just want to say thank you to you guys for obviously dealing with your coaches, but dealing with every situation that has happened. And some of you guys went to a personal situation that happened to you personally, if that had to do with COVID-19 or quarantine or something that happened. And along with just playing the game, because there's that frustration as well. So boys who are here, community is big time. I always, you guys hear me sometimes say, East Side Tucson, East Side Tucson. We look out for each other. But this is one big family when it comes to Durango in general, the city. And it's amazing. It's amazing. So thank you, boys, for one. Thank you, parents. I get there were frustrations at times. I understood. I tried to be as real as possible with you. I know there were times where your kid was not out there. Your kid was not playing. Your kid did not suit up. But it was just what we had to do as a coaching staff. We talked so many different angles of trying to figure out what is the best process. But the process in this whole situation was just we had to be straight as an arrow. And we just had to keep it real with them. And me as a coach and me as a person, I try to be as real as possible with these boys. They know I don't beat around the bush. I don't try to, tell them something that they want to hear, because I don't do it that with my own kids. I always tell my wife, she always like, well, you have 2 kids at home. Well, I also got 158 others. And that's something I had to have her realize, just as simple as me being a teacher and a coach. So I always try to do it for all you guys, and so parents, thank you. Outside community things, Coach Martinez, he's obviously going to take the stage here in a little bit, but him just coming back has been tremendous to our program. I started with him in the program. I started the program with him on our staff, and it was so amazing him coming back, and that's just the community piece that he's brought to this whole situation. So thank you, and I will say that again here after we conclude, but we'll get it going. So as far as that, C-Team, thank you. Okay, I know there's only 2 of you guys representing, I'll get the other 12. I'll make sure I see them tomorrow ASAP. I'm going to see them in class. But thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it. We got your stuff. So Caleb, come on up. Or both of you guys, come on up. Oh, who's my third one? Who's my third one?
Yeah, I'm right here though.
Oh no, Sneed! Sneed, come on up. So I got 3. Find your names. You gotta find your names. Yep, you're on. Hurry. Rose. Don't keep going. You ain't gonna tell me who it is. Elias. Just kidding, man. Oh, Sneed, I got you right here. You're definitely not early. There you go, Sneed. My brother gets your idea. All right. Hey, good job, y'all. Appreciate it. Thanks, bro. Thank you. Appreciate it. He's out. All right. Caleb got drafted and he's gone now. All right. Oh, it's your spot. Oh, coach. JV! Coach.
Yeah, if you guys could come on up. So, just want to talk about actually the whole program, not just as a JV program and that. It's like, any of you guys that follow the national tournament with the NCAA and that, it's like, I think people don't realize what it takes to build something special. And, I mean, I look up right here with the state football stuff. It's like, it's a big deal. It's like, in a small community, people don't realize what it takes to have something like that, because not very many people get to experience that. And, you know, as you guys have walked through, like Coach said, done with COVID and school and stuff like that, it's like, it's just crazy. But, you know, I thank Coach every day because he kind of brought me out. I coached for 25 years, took about 7 years off and came back this year. But the reality of it was, for me, it was a good time for me to come back to really get my mind off of what I'm walking through myself with COVID and my business and the things we walked through. But I totally believe in what community is and what we represent. You guys can see these pictures and stuff like that, people that, the history of Durango. And we just feel like we're very fortunate to be a part of that. And, you know, I continue to tell this group that they're actually very good and they could be better, but it depends on what you guys do. And I think nothing, you know, when you watch the NCAA tournament, it's like it takes something a little more than what's normal to be something special. But only you guys can do that. To me, that's not a coaching thing, that's you as an individual. So I just challenge you guys, varsity kids, seniors, it's like, I think it's what you want out of life. It's like you want to push yourself to have something better, and you have to challenge yourself to do that. So I just want you guys to know that I appreciate what you did. And thought we had a great year. We got our butts kicked up in Junction and a couple times here, and we came back and won 3 out of our last 4 games. So I think that's a good thing, and just challenge you guys to continue to get better and work. You got to work. You don't get better without working. So, but Coach, thanks for letting me be a part of it.
Love you.
All right, man. Thanks, guys.
Oh, yes, you guys actually need some certificates. Brady, come on through.
Get 2 signatures.
Good job.
No, but how is it so green?
Eli,
All of it is.
Micah.
You know how we got this year?
Oh, Eli.
Eli, come here.
Let's run it back. Dude, we don't
Just want to recognize Eli for making academic honorable mention.
Oh, yeah.
Nice work. Good work with the class for being on board.
Micah.
You have to be
Caleb. Sawyer.
real quick. Charles Sneed also academic honorable mention.
That's actually legendary. Injured. Did you get one of those shirts too? They smacked you one. You know who did get one of those shirts? Those two. They still.
Are you looking for?
Okay, we get well, no.
Okay, then we get Tony instead of Zach.
Yeah, straight up. Wait. Okay, I have two.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll take Jasmine.
I guess I'll just do it.
It's really like that.
Ricky talked all three.
Oh,
Okay.
Is that crazy?
Just be you. Be you.
Dude.
All right. Last but not least, varsity. But no, again, I want to thank. Well, first off, before I get to varsity, I want to thank the C team and the JV. The C team did not. A lot of people didn't realize, but C team usually gets about 12 to 13 games, and they didn't get. They had 3 or 4 games this year. We have to say it was kind of that developmental kind of squad to just prepare yourself for the next year. So it was a little struggle. I didn't know if anybody would still stay or if they were going to have 5 people one day or 12 people the next day. But those kids committed, and I'm really proud of them. I've already coached. I've already taught a lot of them in the first 3 quarters. So that was just amazing to see, and I applaud them for doing that and having that patience for this season, because it's always easy. The game is the reward, and you just always want to play that game, and they didn't really get that opportunity. So it was definitely amazing to see the C team do that. JV, again, it's always it's hard. It's hard, especially when you're coming out of that 8th grade. Some of these guys who are sat on the varsity had to go straight from 8th grade and had to play that JV level. And so it's hard to come right out of 8th grade and go against juniors. Those juniors sometimes when we hit that front range in Junction are already 6'2" and 215 pounds or whatever they are. Are not as big as Walter, but in age that's all you see flex in age. Okay, you go. Boys are big. So it's a hard task. It's a hard task, and we're asking a lot out of them to be able to grow up so fast. And that's just where we're at. It's different, as we know. We always hear about it. The city is just different. And as coaches, we always are like on you to like you have to grow up quick, especially if you show that skill and you're ready to go and you get your name called and you go in the game. and I'm just talking at the JV level, but obviously, it's at the varsity level as well. So, as far as varsity, I'll get into varsity so we can get going. I know people got stuff to do. Again, I said it pretty much in the introduction, is the fact that this was one, and every coach in America has probably said it, of one of the hardest seasons I've ever had. But my support system that I am so proud of and I am so grateful of a lot of stuff that I've dealt with, just me personally in my life, that I have not talked to my boys about. It's been amazing. And the people, I'm so grateful. And I usually cry with the boys, and I'm trying not to cry with my support system. So let's keep it together. I did enough of that last week. Sorry, y'all. Okay. But I'm so grateful for you guys. I know a lot of parents, again, want to see their kid thrive. They want to see them succeed. And I can always be the enemy. And I'm taking on that role all the time. And it took a lot my first 3 years to be like, I didn't do anything. And I was always trying to play that role. But in all reality is the fact that I just take it on. Because there's just certain things that I want to tell these boys, that this is going to be life in general. And we're all not perfect. I definitely not. I tell you that ASAP. And I'll be honest with you. But it's hard. It's hard, and it's hard to tell a kid that they can't play. You're cut. You cannot suit up. You're cut. You know, the hardest thing ever as a coach and a mentor and a teacher, to tell a kid that they cannot succeed on something they really want to do. And so our message as a coaching staff is the fact that we're just trying to challenge in this, to be better, just to be strong and keep working at what you really want to do. Because in all reality, and we've all heard the same thing as adults, is the fact that you're going to have somebody in your life that tells you can't do it. You can't do it. Even though you know damn well you are excellent at it, you're great at it, you know it from ins and outs. And Flint knew the scouting report better than me every single time. I'm like, no, it's not number 2. It's number 1. It's not number 2. Did you argue with me every time? And he was right. It's every time. So it's those little things that we just try to teach overall, and that's really what I try to do with this group personally this year. It was kind of, I always have liked it. It's been like every 4 years. I try not to add years onto my coaching and how long I've been teaching, but I think it's been like every the 4th year where it's a new, different squad. And this squad was brand new. You know, I look at Ty, you coming back was like a whole different ball game. It was a whole different ball game this year. Like, I haven't seen Ty in like 2 years. He just went and traveled the country for 2 years and then came back, and now he's back on the basketball team. It was amazing to see. But what he brought to the table, where it's like, we had guys on the court and we're like, oh my God, what do we do? And Coach King even reminded me, like, Ty keeps him calm, because he's like, man, I've seen a lot in my life, man. And he just like, whatever, I don't care. And everybody calmed down. And it was just that little simple point. It wasn't because he scored 20 points. It wasn't because he hit 3. It wasn't none of that. It was that simple, and that's what I really cherish about the game, of those simple things, as far as the team went this year. But overall, I really liked how the team made their own identity. And I talked about that last year with the team last year. They had their own identity, and it happened back-to-back years. Where last year's team had their own identity, and this year's team went completely opposite. Yeah, we do some of the same things. Yes, we still clap it up, and we say Durango on 3 and everything else. But they made their own identity, and it was good to see every single player on our varsity team blossom this year. I know we kept, I didn't do any cuts. This year, but I wanted to make sure that everybody had an opportunity to be a part of something. Because we all, as adults, and as children, and as kids and teenagers, we all needed to be a part of something. All I had was like my cycling bike, and it got too cold. so I couldn't ride it no more. And I have my family at home, but you already know how that goes. Us parents, you already know how that goes. There's a lot of nagging and all that stuff. But anyways, it was just amazing to see them grow with each other. I mean, the camaraderie they had, the bus, the meals, everything. They all looked out for each other, and somebody stepped up. We didn't finish a game with the same ending five, not once this season. I get it was only 14 games, but we did not finish the game with the same five. And that's something to say about this group, so I just want to say thank you. I know our other coaches have to talk, but thank you, boys. It was a great experience for how short it was. I know you wanted to still keep going. But wins or loss, that was good. So,
Yeah.
hey, we made them think, though, real quick. But I'm looking forward next year. I'm looking forward to summer. We actually got a summer season. Seniors, I appreciate you. We're going to talk about you in a minute because you guys get the whole introduction at the end. So you guys just relax and sit down there. But thank you, boys. Excellent season. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Coach?
Which one?
Oh, either one. They're both long-winded, like myself. I know I'm long-winded. I'm sorry. Try to keep it together.
Who's long-winded? I'm timing that.
I'm surprised you weren't hyperventilating over there. You're talking so much.
All right, I'm going. Okay.
I just wanted to say thank you to the boys. I know I watched some of your guys' games too. You know, I'm happy we got to do this. I mean, we didn't miss one game. Sorry, Hayes. We didn't miss one game, with the exception of a few. But I mean, I thought we were going to have some canceled. Like all the college teams had games canceled. We didn't have to deal with any of that. And I was actually telling these guys over here, I don't feel super bad for you because you got 3 games a week, and I think we conditioned one time in one season. That's like I dream of that, you know. So, but I know it was tough, and watching you guys with a mask, and sometimes it looked like you guys were suffocating, and you felt bad. That just wished you could just take them off, you know. But you pushed through it, and you know we still finished in the state highest since I've been in the program at 32. So you know, any other year we're hosting a playoff game with that position. So just know that, like, that's something to be proud of in the accomplishments that we did. Well, like Alan said, you know, basketball is for most people 4 years. 3% of you go on to play another sport, but for most of you it's done. And the basketball side of it is just part of it. What you really need to be focusing on here is like how you're going to treat, you know, your life. Are you going to practice this summer, or are you going to play video games? It's on you. I'm not going to be calling and following up with you on that. But I can promise you, come, is it November? November, I can promise you, I can tell you which one of you guys did stuff in the off season. You know, whether you lifted weights or you worked on your game, we'll be able to tell. So it's on you. It's just like that in life. You can't just be happy with something, content, stop doing it, and just pick it up again. It doesn't work like that. So if this really means something to you for the underclassmen, to just make sure you're doing something in the off season, so that next year you're one step up. So I've already heard, I think Coy's doing an AAU team or something. So that's awesome. I like to hear that because I don't see that very much anymore. Seniors, thank you guys. I know that was definitely not ideal, and you know, I appreciate parents being around and trying to support you. And it was probably harder for them than it was for you, to be really honest, because they don't, you know, these memories are like, seeing that stuff is gonna stick with them forever. So appreciate you guys and sticking with that. So hey, listen, I can't believe Windsor lost, actually. I really can't. So that must have been a fluke game. Did you watch it?
Yeah, Pueblo South did not miss. They probably hit like 10 or 15 threes.
Really? So, in my opinion, the boys and the girls played the best team in our, you know, the girls lost to Mullen won state, and I thought Windsor was going to win state. So, and we played Montrose, who went to the title game. So, in all honesty, I mean, now you've seen some of those teams and how they play. It's all about, and look at Gonzaga. Gonzaga is, you know, they haven't lost yet, but they all play together. It's a team game, so, work together over the summer, and we'll see you back next year. Alan has me on a 4-year contract, it expires next year. We'll see if he re-ups with my stuff, so.
I won a state championship, Pete Rick King.
Yeah, so, but thank you guys. I have fun every year. These are a solid group of boys. No problems that we're aware of, and that's always nice that we don't have to deal with any of that stuff. So, appreciate you.
I just want to start out by saying it was an honor or privilege to be able to coach with Jerry Martinez this year. There, I got that off. That's what he wanted to hear. So, no, honestly, to all the parents that are watching, I want to tell each and every one of you thank you for letting me coach your kid. I've been around this game for the better part of my life. Next to Jerry, I'm probably the eldest here. I mean, he's older than me, but and I've always been wanting to try and get back in the game down here in Durango. Basketball brought me to this community, and I've always been wanting to, give back. And Coach Batiste has given me that opportunity. And to each and every one of you boys, I want to say thank you for letting me be part of your basketball career. It means a lot to me to be able to spend time with you guys and help you guys in this game. Looking forward to what we've got coming back. And like Coach King said, we're going to put in some work, and I'm going to get with Alan here the next couple of weeks and see when we can start that off-season conditioning. And we're gonna make it happen. Okay. So again, thank you to each and every one of you guys. Thank you, parents. I know it wasn't easy on the parents this year. I couldn't imagine playing my senior year of high school and not having my, friends from school in the stands and not having my parents in the stands. Like it boggled my mind all year, and it's a testament to you guys, to what you guys have gone through, and I just want to give you guys a hand for that. So, thanks again, and
Thanks, Coach. All right. So we're gonna call up. We're gonna actually do. I'm gonna switch it up this year because it's like always wasn't very good at math. I mean, I was good old low B minus, but if you get like a medal, a bar or a letter, we're gonna do that after. So don't leave right away because we'll just give you that after. But rather than us having to hand all that out, we're just gonna do your certificate. So Dylan Benton, come on up. Make sure you get all in, all right? Maddox, Brian, come on up. Thanks, Dylan.
Oh, thanks, Dylan.
Sam Carosa is taking his girl out on a date. Great gentleman right there. So I'll give it to him in class tomorrow. Good job. Lincoln Clay, come on up. And also with Lincoln, he was academic all-state first team as well. So good job with that. Anthony Flint, come on up. And also with Anthony Flint, he was academic all-state first team along with first team all-conference for basketball. Good job. All right. AJ Folk, come on up. Yeah. I'll see you in class tomorrow. Good job.
Try to stop by Brown's.
Landon Roberts. Landon was also academic all-state first team. Good job.
Yes.
Michael Shires, come on up. And Michael was also academic All-State first team. Walter Stockberg, come on up. Walter was also second team all conference. Good job. Yeah, Walt. Sorry, Walt. You're always bigger than me, man. Harry. Hey, bro. Look at you. Luke Wesley, come on up. My hand. Luke has like grown man straight now. Luke Wesley, good job, man. Good job. Jasper Zesracket. Yeah. Zesracket. Come on. Appreciate you. All right. So, and my coaches might be able to say something as well. I want to keep it open, so I'll keep it real short. So we have our seniors. We have only 3 seniors this year. This is the lowest class. I mean, not in a bad way, but this is the less. 3 seniors this year. And it's kind of always good because senior night is always it's a challenge for us coaches when we have like 7 or 8. So 3 was perfect because we knew they were starting. Perfect. But Samuel Johnson, he couldn't make it tonight. I think he's working, and mom, or he's somewhere else, or whatever else he's at. But Samuel Johnson was academic All-State first team. He actually was also an alternate for All Conference. That's the respect he got within the conference as well. It's a kid that he worked his tail off. We knew his motor every single day. He kind of gives me that, you always try to look at what player kind of reminds you of within NBA and stuff like that. But he was kind of like that Draymond Green type of player. Like, I know there's
Disrespected a jump shot like that, coach?
well, Draymond can't shoot either. But Sam Johnson, taking that back, AJ. Sam Johnson was one of our best 3-point shooters last year. And he came into this season and he was really honest with us. Like, Coach, I didn't think we had our exit meetings on the way home from Windsor. He's like, I really did not I didn't do anything with basketball because I didn't think we were playing. And that's again how us coaches can't really relate to how you guys were thinking about if there was going to be a season or not. And so he told us, like, I didn't put the time in. He was honest. And he just always kept it honest, and that's one thing I kind of appreciate about him. I also coached his brother as well, Seth, and I just loved his honesty. He was always 100 with me, 24/7. If he was tired, and he told me he was tired, I had to believe him because I know how hard he worked on just turning over the ball and giving us an opportunity to get a steal and get out in our fast break and get shots and so on. So I really appreciate his effort this year, and he was amazing. So I don't know if you guys have anything to say about him, but if not.
Oh, I can take his stuff if you want.
Yes, you can. Yeah. Okay, perfect.
I've never been around a player that has a motor like Sam's. And Sam knew that he wasn't the offensive juggernaut, but he knew his role. And he went out and he accepted his role. And I mean, there was one game I lost count of the touches that he got defensively because he just seemed to always be getting. And I want to thank Sam for his motor and bringing that to the team and accepting that role.
Yeah, definitely. You always knew what to expect out of him. So there wasn't a lot of highs, lows. It was consistent. And honestly, consistency is like really something you'll learn to appreciate as you age. Just kind of knowing where someone's going to be. So, and he's just really funny. So
as a coach, we go like, is he milking it a little bit? His shoulder hurt a little bit, but you actually were hurt. I mean, I'm not questioning it. But I had time in dance fitness too, so that's why I mess with him a little bit. But No, I mean, he was hurt last year, he couldn't do it, and I knew, you know, Ty's always just kind of, again, keeping it 100 with me. Not a dude of a lot of words. But when he does talk, you know, he gets his point across, and I kind of noticed that in your text messages this year. Coach! And it was like direct to the point, I'm like, is he yelling at me? So I couldn't do it, but he was just actually just being honest, and I've always appreciated your honesty. You know, there's a lot of things, you know, I know, you know, some things where you've grown up and people in your family and relationships and all that, and I have a lot that I kind of share with him, just how I grew up myself over in Arizona, not so technically in Durango, but that was that kind of connection. But I just love that calm, cool, collective, just that realness, and it didn't matter, but seeing you at Central come out the way you did, Coach Martinez, me and Coach Martinez were there, and you sparked us, because I remember talking to the boys, and I think I talked to Ann or I talked to Sam, and I said, you better get these dudes going, or you guys are gonna get your asses wet. So, you came out first like 4 or 6 points, and you coming off that downhill, down screen, and hitting that jumper. Most amazing things. I don't forget stuff like that. So, you sparked us, and then you came back, and that was amazing. And I mean, we won that game solely just from your effort of doing that. And I know you were trying to get personally out of your own rut, because you came out the gate and you were like 10 for 12 with a three-pointer at the beginning of the season. And so we had that little conversation of you just trying to figure out get you back going, getting that confidence back, and you did that game, and then it kept going. So thank you for competing, and thank you for coming out, and I love having you, brother. All right? Let me know if you need anything. Appreciate it, man. Get careful.
So, I gotta fully admit, when I pretty much have a good handle on the boys that play a lot of basketball, you know, from 6th, 7th, 8th grade on up into high school. And I was talking to Coach King. He goes, yeah, we're gonna have Ty Martinez come out. He's gonna be playing. And I looked at him and I go, who the hell is Ty Martinez? And but when I saw him, I was like, oh, okay, I know who he is. But it was that quietness and that calmness that he brought to the court that we needed, you know, a lot of times. And there were a lot of times I look at Ricky and Ricky look at me and we're like, what tie in? You know, he was kind of always our go-to when we needed a spark or we needed, you know, calmness on the court. And that was some, you know, goes unsaid that his senior leadership really showed this year. And that's hard to do coming back into a team that, you know, he hadn't been with. You know, he came back in and it just showed his maturity and his senior leadership. And really proud of you for that. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I'm just glad that you came out. I know Ty and his family pretty well, and so I know even talking to Isaiah that, I don't know if Ty's going to come out, and so I was like, he could really help us, and definitely got some really solid minutes down the stretch in a lot of our games. And honestly, we talked about it, like Ty comes better off the bench. We want to bring him off the bench. That's just how some players seem to play better that way, and that was you. So I'm just real came out, man. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Appreciate that.
And no, you can't have my. He's got the cowboy boots on, dude.
We're not 6'5". Just slow down, man. Oh, okay. We had a thing. What trip was that? You guys wrote down all your guys' sizes.
Oh yeah, it was at like 6'2", like 75 pounds.
Yeah, Dylan was 6'2", 75 pounds.
First Grand Junction trip, I think.
Hazen was 6'4" and a half.
Oh, you're right.
245.
Wall was like 350.
Oh, man. All right. Hey, that's yours, man. Good job. Good job. So, you know, man, I can't believe I'm year 8, 9, 10-ish. You know, as a little background, you know, I used to play I have a baseball background, and I'm pretty damn good at it. I'm not gonna lie. But that's what I like. I like those questions. I like those. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe.
He's really good in the old man league. The best
but
man. So,
I have to say I was pretty good, and I was really better at baseball than I was basketball. But short story is that I grew up kind of when I got basically done playing basketball. Somebody close in Hazen's family said, "Do you want to play softball?" I'm like, I might do it. I don't know. I got nothing to do this weekend. So I started playing softball with Hazen's dad, and going to tournaments and stuff like that. And these tournaments were legit. And I just would walk on the field. I got these big baggy baggy jersey shorts and everything else. And I just started playing baseball and softball and everything. But really what I was noticing as I was doing that is I saw this guy when he was like down here, and his brother also when he was like right here. Or no, you've always been the bigger one, so you were here and then the brother. Okay, just kidding. All right, just kidding. But their family has always been family kind of to me. And when you're from out of town and you're on an island going to college, and of course you always look for your next meal and you're looking for the great meal, or just to be around people who kind of better you. That was his family for me personally. I know I've already had this conversation with his mom and dad, but that was his family for me. But also knowing that I didn't know I was going to be the Durango basketball coach at that time. When you're 22 years old, 23 years old, I don't even want to know what you boys think now these days, but I know I was not thinking about spending my time coaching basketball here in Durango. So that has been an experience for me. So having him in my program, having his brother in my program, it's always been that family connection here in the program. And just seeing him grow and having him all 4 years. I know his freshman year along with Ty's freshman year, their first incident of that C-team incident that we had was not very good. And I ran a study hall, and they did not like it at all because they knew I was about business, and that's another story we'll talk about later down the line. But him just moving forward, Hazen, it's been amazing having you. I believe, and I'm only kind of going off the top of the dome, and I think Coach Fitz can contest to this. But I think Hazen leads Durango High School in charges at all times. Taking a charge is like tackling in football. You either do it or you don't. You do it or you don't. And it's just you have that one moment where you go, I'm going to do it, or you don't. And we have some guys that don't do it. So Hazen was the one that did it. If he was late, I would look up at the first quarter and I'd say, 4 minutes, 38 seconds gone by, Hazen's not taking charge yet. Something's wrong. You gotta come out the game. Come on, hurry up. So, no, I'm just kidding. But it was always on schedule. Like, I think that first quarter, it always helped out. But again, him just keeping the positive attitude, his smile, his demeanor, him just always the respect he's shown to me, his coaching staff. There's never been, whatever else it is. I don't know if we've ever had any beef unless you just literally. Just wait for the camera, sorry. But no, I can tell you so many things. But we'll have that conversation soon. I'll see you at the graduation party. Oh gosh, I'm still stretching. Okay. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Come on, boy. You got your boots on and everything today.
Kind of the same thing with Alan. I've known Joey J. Lee since 1995 when I came down here, and just being around Durango and knowing them, you watched them grow up, and quite honestly, I'm surprised Hazen still talks to me and says hi. because I rode Hazen quite a bit. And I tried to push Hazen to get the most out of him that I could. And sometimes he responded, and sometimes he was like, nah, coach, I'm out. And just one quick story. I was running him one night. We were running, and we had to get some conditioning.
Two times out the whole year. Yeah.
We had to get some conditioning in, and I look up. Hazen's nowhere to be found. And I'm like, where the hell did Hazen go? And Hazen was just like, no, I'm done, coach. He walked out. And to his credit, he came back in. He's like, I'm sorry, coach. I can't do it. But he had a smile on his face. And that's what I always appreciate about Hazen. And again, you know, I'm just happy you're still talking to me. All right? Nice work.
Me too.
I see Casey's over here trying to, you should have wore this shirt at the beginning of the season. He's got Alan's Huson shirt on right now. You didn't see that when he walked up. No, I really do appreciate, like Alan said, without question, Hazen leads the all-time school in charges, without question. And honestly, it's not fun. So having somebody run you over, not only is like a pride thing, but it also hurts. So for him to do that is like, you know, it's something to be said. But I've definitely enjoyed, you know, I've been around you for 3 years now, and enjoyed it and had a lot of fun. And I'm glad that your bangs aren't in your face as much now. That definitely helps out a little bit. The perm was a lot for me.
That's what I forgot to say.
But since my nephew had it too, I figured I'd just keep my mouth shut. It's your head. Yeah.
You know his nickname, don't you?
Big perm?
Sonny V? Yeah, gives you big perm.
Big perm. So, appreciate you. Glad you got the jacket 3 in your last game too. That was good, you know. So, yeah, man, just happy to have you around, and hope you had fun.
Hey, did DJ ever pay for that dinner?
No.
Okay, I talked to him yesterday, so I'll make sure I hold accountable because you started popping up after those charges. So those who don't know, DJ promised Hazen dinner if he would take a charge, and he took like 4 that game. So his sophomore year, he took like 4, and so Charge King right there, baby. Good job. Thank you. I'll make sure I hold him accountable.
All right.
All right.
I know we're running a little low on time, but I'm sure you were probably going to say something. So
No,
sorry if
you're
I'm
good.
interrupting,
No,
but
you're good.
thank you to Jen Bond. You know, without Jen, if everything was just in Alan's time frame, all hell would be breaking loose. So
Wouldn't watch a game at all.
yeah, no one know when we play or where we play or anything. So I very much appreciate you. I know it's a lot of stuff you do behind the scenes, but it's a lot of work, and so thank you very much for that. And you guys should be saying thank you.
Yes, Jen, you make us look good. We appreciate you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
True coach right there. No, I'm not even. So just before, because I know I always try to keep the time on every single year. 4 minutes over. There are about 4 players that need letters, and they get bars and they get so and so. So varsity especially, kind of stick around. We'll get those out to you. I just want to kind of give a second. But again, overall, boys, thank you. Because obviously, I think everybody on this section, yep, coming back next year. Everybody over here, besides 2, love you 2. Good luck to you all day, you know. Put me down as a reference. I don't know how much pull I got, but definitely do it. And let me know what you need. I mean, I'm still in the building, you know where to find me. So you guys can always, I'm always here for you guys. And I tell that to every single person that leaves the program. And it's always good just kind of catching up with you all the time and doing that. So, boys, thank you. Parents, thank you. Again, Coach said it perfect. Jen, Vaughn, thank you. I keep going on because, yes, this program is yours.
One more thing, seniors. You you guys need a letter of reference or anything, don't hesitate to ask.
Indeed.
English or Spanish.
Ms. Caitlin Brown, thank you for coming on late as our manager. See you next year.
Yep.
Thank you. Coach Martinez, thanks for hosting us.
Yeah, thank you, Coach.
We appreciate you. Nikki Bryant, thank you so much for the books and the photos. They are amazing. Who am I missing? See, I guess I can't never win no Grammy. I like rapping all the time, but I don't know win no Grammy. Sorry. I just being embarrassed with my daughter, so I was she doesn't like me. Say it again. Okay. I feel like I'm on the video now, so parents at home. John Hurl's not like this. Go get a beer. Hurry up. Bye bye. We'll see you soon. Boys, have a good one.
Tired.
We'll be in touch. Yeah, just check your email.
If you drive.
We'll be